Hi, this is Father Louis Skirty with another episode with Sister Maria Goretti here at St. Peter Claver Church and School in Tampa, Florida. Thank you for having me,
Thank
Sister. I
you,
really
Father.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
In past episodes, we spoke about the spirituality of the students. We spoke about the academics, the discipline, and then that was woven into the academics because a kid can't study or pay attention if he's hungry, and I think you addressed those very well. Um, at Mass, you mentioned congratulations to one of the houses that won a contest. What was that all about?
A few years ago, we started a competition within the houses in the school. I grew up in Nigeria where we have inter-house sport every year. And my coach at the time also grew up in Jamaica, and they did the same thing. So we decided to bring it to St. Peter Claver. So we divided all the kids into four different houses. The first one is Red House, which is after St. Ignatius, because we are the Jesuit founding. We have Blue House.
Oh, a Jesuit foundation
Yes.
to the parish?
Yeah, the priest that bought the property to start the school is a Jesuit priest.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So then we have Blue House, that is Ave Maria after the Mother Mary, and we have Yellow after Catherine Drexel, who is a saint now, and she was one of the founding members of the school. She actually gave donation to our first library, and she visited the school.
Wasn't she originally from Philadelphia?
Yes, she's
St.
a
Catherine
saint.
Drexel, because there's Drexel area.
Yes.
Interesting. And she was the founder of this school?
She was part of it. She gave donations to help begin at the beginning.
Interesting, okay.
And then the last one is Greenhouse after Father Terrell, who brought the property for the school. So the kids are divided and they have competition in different sports, track, basketball, softball, and then we add all the points. And on the last day, we have competitions with parents, teachers, and then we announce the winners. And this year's winner was the Red House. And,
That's great.
a lot of people were not happy because Red won 3 times already. The Blue House really wanted it, but they tried and they became second. So the kids are really happy. They get into the spirit. The school is decorated in different colors. And they just love having fun.
Wonderful. You have a great spirit here in this school. They really, I mean, I love standing outside of Mass and the kids are hugging me and shaking my hand. And I just met them. But they're such a beautiful spirit.
They're very happy kids. They're very innocent. They're very nice. They're very kind.
And yet they don't all come from happy, well, I shouldn't say that. They have challenging backgrounds, don't they? And yet when they come here, they're family.
Yes.
Do you have much interaction with their families?
Yes, we do. One of the things that we, when the kids come into the school, we try to meet the parents. And because we're not just here to take the kids away from them, we want to work with them. We want to be able to know their challenges, what is going on at home. We've had parents come into the school to tell us that they were about to be evicted, and we have to work with the children that we have here to make sure that they're okay, and then try to see if we can find services for that parent so that it's not going to be easy for a kid to be homeless and be coming to school and we expect their side of them. So we listen to their stories. We go beyond just educating their kids. We want to be part of their family. And so they see that, and the kids are happy when they come here. They know that they're safe.
Yes,
when they
yes.
come here.
You had mentioned that the most of the students here are on tuition.
Yeah.
And who supplements the rest of the tuition?
Every single kid in the school is on a scholarship.
Every kid.
Every kid. All of our kids are below income level. Every family have their own challenges, but they all qualify for
That's
low
tough
income.
to hear.
Yeah.
Every family is below income,
Yes.
poverty income.
Yes, and the state of Florida has a scholarship program that helps low-income families to send their school to any private school that they want. And so that really helps our children. Every one of them qualify for that. And our tuition this year is actually $6,500. The step-up scholarship pays 58 of that. And so we ask the parent to pay $200 for the year, and then we raise funds to supplement everything
great.
else.
So it's not a handout. It's a participation in the whole academic formation of the child.
Yes.
And he or she has to participate as well as their families.
Yes.
It's a unit. It
Yes.
really is. And it shows so much more respect than just
It does.
handing out.
Yes, and one of the things that we always try to get our kids is a cycle. We want to get them out of that poverty cycle, and the only way to do it is to give them good education. And so when the state have that program, and is really helping a lot of these children to go into private small settings where somebody would actually pay attention
Yes,
to them.
yes, yes.
We have kids that are working behind grade level. every single teacher stays after school to help with them. I don't do well in math, but I take kids out and I help them in math just because they have to see that everybody cares about them.
Right.
And just making sure that this is your ticket out of poverty. You can be great. You can be whatever you want to be.
So it's taken the our Christian perspective, respecting every person that comes in front of us, and here in the academic setting, working with him and her
Yeah.
academically,
Yes.
and working with the family.
Working with them. It's a village.
Rapport.
Yes.
It's a village. I like
Yes.
that. What is like the best and the worst? What's the saddest case you've had to deal with?
We've had families that just continue, they struggle a lot. I had a family of a mother who was in a wheelchair, and she wanted her kids to have a good education. She struggles with the older one, and so she brought all four of them here. And for the whole year, the oldest boy constantly have issues with the teachers. He's so disrespectful, so angry, doesn't want anybody telling him what to do. He's kicked out of class almost every day, and mom constantly have to be brought in. We have conferences, the psychologist, the social worker. And towards the end of the year, when it was time for him to graduate, and I asked him, I said, "Do you really want to graduate?" And he looked at me like, "What do you mean?" "Yes, I am graduating." And I said, "But how are you going to do that? You've not been in class. You've not done any of your work." And he said, "Well, I can do it." I said, "Well, I'll make you a promise. If you do your work and you get everything done, whatever is left, I'll let you come back after graduation so that you can work with your class." And he sure did. He did
That's
all his
great.
work, and then he was able to work with this class. And he took a very beautiful picture. Mom at that point was very sick in the hospital, and so we sent a picture to her so at least she could be part of it.
Yes.
And a few months after that, she passed. And then the younger ones, the younger sister graduated last year, and grandma was becoming overwhelmed with transportation for the kids. And so they had to take the younger ones out and go to a public school that was closer to their homes.
Oh, man.
And so we see challenges like that. We've had teachers, I've taken kids to get their ear done. We've done everything. Whatever the kids need, everybody's there to
It
do
really
it.
is a family.
It is a family.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And what is your most significant success case? I'm sure every kid's a success, but
And we've had a lot of kids that finish and go on to high school, and we're very proud of them. But this morning, one of them was in the church, and she came to volunteer for the day and get her service hours. And she was a kid that came to us in third grade. She's a very angry kid, is very disrespectful, very defiant. And she just, the first year was kind of very quiet. But after that, we started seeing this negative side of her. And so many times I just want to kick her out of the school, like expel her.
Right.
But when mom comes and she's from another country, and I know what it means to come from another culture.
yes.
And I would just say, "Okay, one more chance." And it was just one more chance and one more chance. And when she got to the sixth grade, it became really, really bad. And every time she's still suspended, and or she's in detention and all that. But by the time she got to seventh grade, we started seeing some changes. And everybody, without knowing what happened to this kid, she just started focusing more. She became a little bit nicer, not completely, but she was getting into less trouble, and she just focused on her academics, and her grades improved. By the time she got to eighth grade, she had just completely blossomed. She became number one in her class. She organized a lot of things for her class. One day, I was in the school when I saw all these donors coming into the school, and I'm like, "What's going on?" They said, "Oh, we have a meeting." I'm thinking, did I miss something? And they were like, "Oh, no, we have a meeting with one of your students." I'm like, "What do you mean?" They were trying to raise funds to go to Washington, D.C., and she needed donation. So she reached out to these donors and invited them to the school to have a conversation on how they're going to raise funds. And she was very successful. They got the money, they went to Washington, and she came back. And after that, it was completely different kid.
Wow.
She took leadership of her class, her academics, her behavior, everything. And on her graduation, she was a valedictorian. And when she started giving her speech, all of us were in tears. It was a very beautiful story to see, and for her to recognize the fact that this school and everybody gave her a chance. And at that point, I realized that you can never give up on a kid.
Right.
You always have to give them the chance. You know, after all, God gave us many chances, and He keeps giving us the chances.
Mercy.
We have to do the same thing with our children, and that's the thing that every faculty in the school know. That I
Yes.
don't usually expel kids. I usually don't.
That's great.
We have to keep working until we can no longer help, and then we find somewhere else for
Right,
them.
right.
So that, to me, seeing her today in church was just such a beautiful thing, and we do hear about her.
Thrilling.
in
That's
school.
great.
Yeah.
And you have a connection with Cristo Rey High School
Yes.
in the area?
Cristo Rey started in this diocese this year, and they do very similar things that we do here. They take only kids that are on scholarship.
I see.
They have to come from a low income family,
Right.
and so a lot of our kids qualify to go there. And so she was one of the first class going to that school. We actually sent 6 of our kids there last year,
Excellent.
and so they're in the freshman class. I mean, this year they're in the freshman class now, and
Right,
it's
right.
very refreshing because I go to mass there every morning, and refreshing to hear how wonderful they are doing, and it just makes your heart warm.
That's wonderful. Now, another reason I'm here this weekend is to celebrate the gala with you. Talk about the gala.
The gala is one of the big ways that we raise funds for our kids. We have a lot of gap in our finances every year that we have to raise at least 300,000 every year to keep the school going.
Wow.
And so Gala is one of those places where we bring all the community together to raise funds for the school. Because our goal and our hope is that we will be able to have enough finances to keep the doors open to continue to give these children chances in life.
Right. So this is your big fundraiser.
This is our big
of the
fundraiser,
year.
and we're hoping that it's very successful.
And although we will have had the gala, when you see this, we're going to give you an address and information as to how to contribute to St. Peter Claver School. I'll have the whole address on site, but why don't you just give us the address of St. Peter Claver?
You can make donations to St. Peter Claver Catholic School, 1401 North Governor Street, Tampa, Florida 33602.
This has been wonderful. Are there any major focuses for the future that you want to look at?
Right now, my goal is to make sure that my kids are successful. We're focusing, really working on academics. We want to make sure that all our kids are able to read. We want to make sure that all our kids are working on grade level and make them competitive to every other, children. We want to make sure that they no longer brushed aside just because they cannot perform.
Right.
And so we're starting to see that difference in our younger grade levels because we're forming them. We're now trying to change
Yeah, you have them
behavior.
from 3 years old.
Yes, we have the 3-year-olds all
To
the way
8th
up.
grade.
Yes, and so forming them and seeing that they know the difference between just doing stuff and making sure they do it right.
Yes.
And teaching them how to accept responsibility, how to show respect for everybody, because we're all God's creatures. And so that is really something that I really want to continue for a long time and be able to make sure that when they finish in 8th grade, they're very successful and they can be whatever they want to be.
Beautiful. At the church, and we've mentioned this before, there were 4 steps that you encouraged the kids, and they all repeated the back. Could you tell us what those were again?
It is P stands for prepare to learn, and A stands for accept responsibility, W stands for worship God, and S is show respect. And every kid can tell you what those mean.
Oh, I know they yell them out. They absolutely, and that's infiltrated into their whole program.
Yes.
God bless you. Thank you so much for these interviews
Thank you,
and the
Father.
experience of celebrating Mass with the kids, and thank you for sharing your spirit with them because their spirit certainly comes out.
Yes, thank you,
Thank you,
Father.
sister.
Appreciate it.
Oh, this has been Father Louis Skirty with Sister Maria Goretti, principal here at St. Peter Claver Church School, Tampa, Florida. Thank you. Let me hear from you. And Sister's email, as well as my email, will be up. Mine, fatherlouskirty@hotmail.com. God bless you. Thank you so much.
I love